If you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, then you know that I covered that situation that happened in Israel on October 7th. You know, when Hamas came flying in on the paragliders. And I covered that conflict, the first opening days of that conflict. I covered the invasion of Gaza. Of course, we talked about the Houthis who were attacking the ships traveling through the area. We talked about the possibilities of war with Iran. We talked a good bit about that conflict. But the reason I stopped talking about it is because I don't want any part of the debate. I don't want any parts of the debate over who's right or who's wrong, or, oh, this land belongs to this person or this land belongs to these people. I don't want to become part of the pro-Israel or pro-Palestine debate. That's not why I took interest in the story. I was interested in the story from a military aspect. So, like, I want to report on things like, hey, this many tanks were destroyed, or this military position was taken over, or hey, this militia in this country are striking with drones. That's the type of stuff I want to cover. I don't want to get into, a debate about what's right and what's wrong and why we should, be against these people or for these people, because at the end of the day, the way I think, the way I feel is I'm America first. I rather live in a world where America doesn't have to get involved in every single military conflict happening on Earth. America has been the world police for my entire life, and I wonder what it would look like in America if we weren't the world police. I would rather America dial back worrying about everyone else's problems so we can handle our own. Now, with that being said, that does not mean that I'm not interested in things happening around the world. It just means like, hey, if you want me to become part of this debate, the only side I'm going to choose is America. Not Israel, not Palestine, not Iran, not Lebanon, not any of these people. I'm pro-America. So it just became increasingly difficult to cover this story without being dragged into either side of the debate. And, I saw wrong being done on this side and wrong being done on that side. And I didn't agree with a lot of the stuff that was going on, but that didn't matter to me. What mattered to me was the actual conflict and the actual details coming out of the conflict. And more specifically, what mattered to me most was how this conflict could affect the rest of the world and how it was dragging America in to another never-ending war in the Middle East. But I haven't talked about this issue for a while. But recently something happened that I find very concerning. I'm sure some of you all have heard it by now. Maybe some of you all haven't. But Israel carried out this crazy attack on Hezbollah. And it's really concerning because I think we're kind of seeing the future of warfare here. And this is something that can pose a danger to us all. You see, one day, and we don't really know how they do it. I think I know. I think they just hacked into these people's pagers and blew up the batteries. But Hezbollah, members of Hezbollah all over Lebanon, simultaneously their pagers exploded, right? I guess they kept in contact through pagers, something we don't really see in America, but Hezbollah, they were using pagers. And the IDF, Israel, they managed to weaponize their own pagers against them, and they had all of these pagers blow up simultaneously. Now, there's videos of this all over the internet. I can't really show you here. You can go follow me on X if you haven't already, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and I'll post some videos over there. But I find this extremely concerning for, I think, obvious reasons. Now, initially, it appeared that Israel just hacked into these pagers and kind of made it to where the batteries overheated to a point that these devices blew up, right? Later on, after people started voicing concern about this, because obviously this is scary, and we'll get to why in later on in the video, But when people started voicing concern about this, then Israel kind of tried to say, wait, no, we actually put things in the pagers to do this. But I don't believe that's the case. I believe they were able to hack into the pagers and basically blow them up through the battery or through whatever, mechanics are within the pagers. And like I said, I think that's a cause for concern for everyone in the entire world, considering how many devices we're surrounded by. But before I go any further, I know some of you all might not even be aware that this is going on. So let's go ahead and roll this clip so you all can, have a better understanding of what I'm even talking about here, because I know this sounds weird. But let's go ahead and roll this clip. Let's have a better understanding of what's happening. And then I'll be back to explain why we should all be concerned about this.
But first, we start you off with new developments about those exploding pagers, all detonating simultaneously yesterday, targeting Hezbollah members in Lebanon. Check it out. People in this video were shopping for groceries yesterday. Multiple reports suggest Israel's spy agency intercepted a shipment of these pagers, placing explosives inside that could be set off remotely. Now, Israel has made no official comment on the operation, but the death toll now in the double digits, and 3,000 others have been injured. News Nation's Tom Dempsey is in Washington with new details this morning. Tom, good morning to you. What's coming in overnight?
Hey, good morning, Marky. Yeah, the video of this all just crazy to see. Here is what we know this morning, though. The company that makes these pagers is based in Taiwan, and it says it didn't produce these specific devices that were used in this attack. Instead, it was a company in Europe that did so. It got the rights to using the brand, but the United States is saying it had no prior knowledge of this attack. A blast in Beirut at a market caught on camera. One of thousands of pager explosions across the country happening almost simultaneously, believed to have been carried out by Israel's National Intelligence Agency against the Iranian-backed terror group Hezbollah Tuesday. This morning, though, still no confirmation that Israel was behind the Hollywood-style attack. After the attack left a death toll in the double digits and thousands injured, including Iran's ambassador to Lebanon, Hezbollah saying, quote, "We hold the Israeli enemy fully responsible for this criminal aggression, and Israel will get its just punishment." The attack has many baffled as to how it was carried out. The pagers were newly acquired, according to some reports, just 6 months ago, after Hezbollah's leader warned its members to stop using cell phones that could be tracked and used in attacks.
I believe they ordered pagers, and Israel found out about it, and that they had doctored them before they got passed out.
The blasts may have sent a clear message, but also threatened to escalate tension in a region many around the world already see as a powder keg.
It will only further the returning of the hostages home, and that's what we need to do. We need to return the hostages home right now, and personally, I want them home, and I'm afraid that this will only further things up.
Hezbollah's leader says he plans to give a speech in response to this attack. But this morning, Israel and Lebanon saying they do not want to see this conflict expand. But it's also important to note, too, that just yesterday, Israel's defense minister saying the timing for a diplomatic solution, a peaceful solution to this tension we're seeing between Lebanon and Israel, the timing for that is running out.
We do begin with breaking news out of the Middle East, where we are now learning of more explosions just a day after thousands were injured when pagers used by Hezbollah detonated. Now, an official with the terror group says their walkie-talkies have started to explode across Beirut. At least one of the blasts happened near a funeral for a victim who was killed in yesterday's blasts. That explosion killed 12 people, including 2 children. Nearly 3,000 others were also hurt. Those attacks happening in and around Lebanon, according to the Lebanese health ministry. So let's bring in correspondent Brooke Schaefer. Following this developing story, joins us live. Brooke, what more can you tell us?
Nicole, at least one of these latest blasts was witnessed at a funeral for Hezbollah members and a child killed in yesterday's pager attack. Hezbollah television saying this explosion was the result of walkie-talkies detonating. This second day of explosions, though, happening in Lebanon and Beirut. Ambulances were seen on the scene rushing people to safety, with the health ministry saying at least one person was killed, more than 100 people hurt. And it comes after yesterday's pager explosions in Lebanon and Syria, which killed at least 12 people, including 2 children. Nearly 3,000 others were also hurt when the pagers detonated simultaneously Tuesday. Hezbollah and the Lebanese government blamed Israel for the sophisticated remote attack, but the Israeli military has not commented directly on the incident. An American official anonymously told the Associated Press that Israel briefed the United States after the attack. That official saying small amounts of explosives were hidden in pagers used by Hezbollah members. This latest attack, once again, renewing fears of a heightened conflict in the region. A former FBI agent and bomb expert telling News Nation the scale of this attack is unlike anything we've seen before.
So this the tactic is nothing new, but the level of this is a new chapter in using IEDs. The fact that they could penetrate the supply chain or actually manufacture these devices and sell them is quite a remarkable feat.
The pagers that were blown up were apparently acquired by Hezbollah members in February. The group's leaders urging members to avoid using cell phones, warning they could be tracked by the Israeli military. A company in Taiwan makes these pagers, but this morning they say they were not involved in making these specific devices. Instead, a company in Hungary made them, they said, and had the rights to use the brand.
Okay, now, so here's the reason why we should all be concerned about this. And the reason is very obvious. I hope you don't think that I have any top secret information or anything. But the reason why we should be concerned is because we're all surrounded by devices. You have a cell phone sitting next to you somewhere right now if you're not watching this video on your cell phone already. Or maybe you have a laptop that you're watching this video on. What I'm getting at here is that constantly all day in life, all of us, every last one of us, we're surrounded by these devices. And if Israel is able to hack into pagers, what do you think they could do? And I'm not just saying Israel, but what do you think any of these people can do? Any of these world powers, what do you think they can do with your cell phone, with your laptop, or let's take it further, with your electric vehicle? The reality is, you know, some people are cheering on what just happened in Lebanon with Hezbollah. And it's not like I'm a fan of Hezbollah. I don't really give a damn what happens to them, if you want me to be completely honest. But this, I don't think this is okay. Because this is opening up the door to something that none of us want to be a part of. Sure, right now you're like, look, Hezbollah's freaking pagers blew up. But what happens when they start doing this to your iPhones? What happens when they start doing this to your Androids? What happens when your Apple Watch freaking blows to smithereens and blows your arm off? You know what I'm saying? So what happened here is now a new chapter, a new door has been opened. We are now officially in a new age of warfare. Now, of course, it's not surprising to me that they have the capability of doing this. I've talked about, you know, them being able to do stuff like this in the past. And when I say them, I'm not just talking about Israel, I'm talking about everyone. But this is opening up the new chapter. Once you take it there, other people are going to take it there. So now we are now living in a new world where this new modern age warfare, you know, people are able to hack into electronic devices and use them as weapons against you. Now, what if some type of hackers from some random country that hates America decided to try to do this to the cell phones in America? How many people do you think would be taken out or injured? Now, what if they start doing it to the electric vehicles? We already know They have kill switches where they can shut them off if you're involved in a high-speed chase or something like that. What if all the electric vehicles in a certain area are weaponized and used as a weapon? Because now, it's not like that this technology and the possibility of them doing this didn't exist in the past, but now they're out there in the open with it. We know the technology exists. Not only do we know the technology and the capabilities exist, y'all have shown the world that they do, and you put it on full display. You took it there, and now other people are going to take it there. Okay? Once one person does something, other people start doing something. Monkey see, monkey do. That's the world that we live in. Once one country uses some type of military technology, then another country wants to do it, and another country. So what we're looking at here, folks, is something very dangerous. I wish things were never taken to this level, because now, you know, that door is open. And once one of these doors opens, you don't shut it. You don't get to close the door behind you. Israel cannot close the door behind them, and we cannot go back to a world before all of these pagers exploded. No, we are living in a post-pager exploding era now. So now you're going to see more things like this. And that is very concerning. It's very dangerous, and it could affect us all. Because all of us, every single last one of us, we're all surrounded by devices 24/7, devices that can and possibly will in the future be weaponized against us. And really think about it. With attacks like this one, you don't have to send an invading force to another country. You don't have to send missiles that cost billions upon billions of dollars. You don't have to send your Navy ships. You don't have to send your fighter jets. You could be right there from the comfort of your office, doop, 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 and just take out countless amounts of people, cause countless amounts of damage. And that is scary. And where do we go from here is the real question. And now, I think a lot of these phone companies and these companies that are making laptops and other various forms of technology, I feel like they owe an explanation to us, but not just that. They owe us some type of, I don't know how to put it, but we need to be confident going forward that when we buy a cell phone that, hey, a foreign government can't hack into this cell phone and use it as a weapon against me. You know what I mean? So what type of precautions and safety, efforts are going to be put forth to prevent this from happening to other people in other countries, more specifically here in America? That's a question that we need to ask now. It's a question that you thought you didn't have to ask. It's something that you think would be fake and something out of a movie, but this is real life now. So how are we going to traverse this new reality where our devices are being used as weapons against us? But I'll go ahead and leave you all to ponder over that question this morning while you're here. Let me know your thoughts about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell. And as always, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.